really well polished, but I'm going to do it anyway. It was pointed out to me, thanks friends Jeff and Lorraine, that there's 365 references to not being afraid in the Bible.
I saw that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Facebook, right?
Yeah. And so what I'm going to do is every day, I'm going to do a little bit about one of them. I don't know if it's going to be in any particular order, but today being the day that Jesus was risen, this is the one that I'm going to focus on. So if you could turn down the music just a little bit there, or off, I appreciate it. So right now, I'm not afraid. I'm sitting in the back seat of my car, and my daughter is, I'm claiming I'm not afraid. And through prayer and meditation, I am making it through as my daughter drives a 126 in my car. I'm sitting in the back seat. So I will spare you who's driving. All my daughters are great drivers. My son is too. Sorry, I didn't mean to put you out, Zach, but they're both in the front seat and I'm in the back seat as an old dad. So let's just get back to that. This is what I'm overcoming, is my fear of control. Realizing that I'm not in control anyway. So might as well have my kids drive. Turns out, in a lot of cases, they're better drivers than I am. But this is the part that I wanted us to consider today. And it's that he is risen. And whenever there seems to be an interaction between an angel and one of God's children, one of the first things they address is the fear that comes with that encounter. And this is also just a really great thing to consider today. So in Matthew 28, I'm just going to quickly read here. He is risen is the section from verse 1. Now after the Sabbath, as the first day of the week began to dawn, Mary Magdalene and the other Mary came to see the tomb. Now, of course, this is the tomb that Jesus was put into the night before. And behold, there was a great earthquake. For the angel of the Lord descended from heaven and came and rolled back the stone from the door and sat on it. His countenance was like lightning. So my little commentary there, he was actually wasn't laid in the tomb the night before. He was raised on the third day. So that's why Kelly's commentary between verses that isn't well thought out, probably distracting from the point. But let's get back to his countenance was like lightning, and his clothing was white as snow. And the guards shook for fear of him and became as dead men. These are trained soldiers that had seen everything in war, and they were trusted to make sure that nobody stole the body of Jesus out of the tomb. And their life was at hand if they failed in that duty. But yet, when the angel appeared to them, they were so scared they became like dead men. And angels don't always appear to you like they do in a Hallmark card with fluffy wings and looking like they're it's not like one of those happy moment cards. You know what I mean? This is an angel that is actually he scared two guards, so they became like dead men. They were ineffective. But the angel answered and said to the women, "Do not be afraid." So to them, their first comment to the women was, "Do not fear. For I know that you seek Jesus who was crucified. He is not here. He is risen. As he said, come see the place where the Lord lay, and go quickly and tell his disciples that he is risen from the dead, and indeed he is going before you into Galilee. Therefore you will see him. Behold, I have told you." So they went out quickly, reading from verse 8 of Matthew 28, with fear and great joy, and ran to bring his disciples word. Bless you there, Zach.
Not COVID.
Yeah. So what is the proper reaction of a servant of God, of these women that had gotten up early to properly give the respect and wrap Jesus the way he needed to be taken care of, his body? Well, they still had some fear with them. It says they ran with fear, but they also ran with great joy. And maybe that's what I need to take for myself. And you tell me, what do you take out of this? I see from the subject of fear that if you're working for Jesus, you could run with great joy. A little fear, but with great joy. If you're like those guards that really don't have the purpose of serving Jesus, I'm watching right now as my daughter goes in stop and go traffic with the Charger, and she's doing a great job, but this Audi just cut her off, and I had to remember to run with joy as well as fear. And I'm really happy for her because she's doing a great job, so I'm running with joy. So let's run with great joy. Let's go and tell people about the risen Jesus, just like they did. They went ahead to give the disciples word, and that's to share God's word. That what was promised had happened, and we should be joyful and not fearful and in action, like the people that acted like, well, they became like dead men, those that did not have a purpose of serving Jesus. So that's my thoughts here from my first mention of do not fear, do not be afraid. Matthew 28, and we'll see if I could try to keep up with this. All right, take care.